And now moving on to the crackdown on illegal immigration, an internal guide used by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, points to how exactly Venezuelan immigrants are being sent to a terrorism confinement center in El Salvador. The guide, which uses a point-based system, allows immigration officers to designate individuals as illegal immigrants based on arbitrary signs like tattoos and clothing. Our next report has more.
Tattoos. They are a mark of self-expression across the world. But in Trump-led US, they are becoming the ink of deportation of Venezuelan immigrants. An internal immigration enforcement document reveals that tattoos have become an expression of immigration status in Trump's America. It further reveals that bearing a tattoo even remotely resembling a notorious gang member could get Venezuelan immigrants deported to an anti-terrorism facility in El Salvador. Drafted on the basis of a 1798 law, the document outlines a system under which Venezuelan immigrants could be designated the members of the dreaded Tren de Aragua gang or the TDA. According to this guide, U.S. immigration officials can deport individuals based on little more than the presence of a tattoo, a clothing, or having a gang member as an acquaintance. Under this, any individual who is Venezuelan and over the age of 14 is eligible to be scrutinized. From there on, a point system is used to determine if the person is affiliated with TDA gang. Higher the score, deeper the trouble. Here's how it works. A person bearing a tattoo to denote loyalty to Tren de Aragua gang is assigned 4 points. Social media posts depicting activity, interaction, or support with known members of TDA also gets 4 points. Being in group photos with 2 or more known members of the gang is also worth 2. Communicating with a known TDA member are assigned 6 points. And 10 points are assigned if the individual is convicted of any offense related to TDA activities. If they self-identify, even unwittingly, as a member or associate of TDA to law enforcement, that's another 10 points. Officials need 9 points to approve the deportation of a Venezuelan immigrant. The implications of these guidelines have already raised concerns. They suggest that individuals could face deportation based on an officer's interpretation of their appearance or social interactions. Many deported Venezuelans inside El Salvador's prison are told that they are detained because of their tattoos. The deported individuals say they are sent back from the US based on nothing but superficial appearances. Critics fear that this point-based deportation system gives immigration officials too much power with too little oversight, and they could be used to unfairly target and deport individuals who pose no real threat to national security. The Trump administration is now facing a lawsuit against this point-based system. The petitioners say that the government is exploiting an 18th century law to bypass modern-day protections for immigrants. Just earlier this month, nearly 300 Venezuelan immigrants were deported to the infamous terrorism confinement center in El Salvador. The procedure suggests that all of these individuals were processed for deportation, partly based on whether or not they had a gang-affiliated tattoo. Last week, even as the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem walked through the same terrorism confinement center, the specter of shaved-headed prisoners behind bars loomed large, exposing the extremes of the current state of American deportation policy. As the legal battle over this point-based deportation system continues, questions remain about the balance between national security and immigrant rights.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too. Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.